Chapter 91. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In recent days, there has been a trend of boycotting Huaqin University on the internet. After spending a lot of energy, the relevant departments finally calmed down this bad trend, but now Li Qingyu's application has stirred up this trend again and pushed Huaqin University to the forefront again. What's going on? Why didn't Li Qingyu apply to our Huaqin University? In an office of Huaqin University, a leader with a bulging belly was furious. After the college entrance examination results came out, we contacted him as soon as possible. Then Li Qingyu also said that he would consider our school, but I don't know why he filled in the name of Shuangdan University when he filled in the application. The staff of the admissions office of Huaqin University also felt very aggrieved. What conditions did you give him? The leader asked loudly again. I told Li Qingyu that if he chose Huaqin University, he would be exempted from all tuition fees, and he would be guaranteed to be admitted to graduate school and doctoral programs, and he would also receive a scholarship of 10,000 yuan every year. The admissions office staff whispered. Didn't I give you a scholarship of 50,000 yuan? If necessary, it can be increased to 80,000 yuan. Why did you tell Li Qingyu that there was only a scholarship of 10,000 yuan? That the leader was furious and slammed his desk. Isn't it just to save some money for Huaqin University, that the admissions office staff had their own reasons and ways of doing things? The more money he saved from enrollment, the greater his contribution. You are suspended indefinitely. That the leader slammed the desk again. He naturally knew the way his subordinates did things, and he even acquiesced to it on weekdays, but now Li Qingyu did not apply for Huaqin. And because of this, a wave of public opinion unfavorable to the school was set off on the internet. Such responsibility also needs to be taken by someone. As a leader, he naturally will not take this responsibility. It should be enough for the younger brother in front of him to take it. If abandoning the younger brother is not enough, then at most he will punish himself with 3 cups of wine later. Well, this will definitely be stable. Time passed quickly, and 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. Li Qingyu came to his Feishuan office as usual, then he turned on the computer and checked various stock market information. Now the funds in Li Qingyu Huagu have soared rapidly with its own continuous growth and the help of 3 small games, and have crossed the threshold of 5 billion, so stock trading has become relatively troublesome. If Li Qingyu still wants to keep the amount in the stock market growing at a high speed, then he needs to step on every daily limit stock. But not all the daily limit stocks in Huagu can be daily limit for many consecutive days. On the contrary, more stocks will only be daily limit for 1 day, so now Li Qingyu needs to make some calculations every day to find the next batch of stocks to be rotated when he trades stocks. Then he links them to his own stock trading auxiliary tool and makes various settings. In the following time, these stocks will automatically absorb funds at low positions and sell them at high positions at appropriate positions. In addition, all the stocks with daily limit in Huagu have long been unable to accommodate all of Li Qingyu's funds. When the market is good, these stocks with daily limit can only accommodate an amount of 1 or 2 billion. If the market is not good, at most they can only accommodate hundreds of millions of funds. Once these amounts are exceeded, there is a high possibility of a market crash. Therefore, Li Qingyu needs to arrange the remaining funds to other stocks with good growth in Huagu. On average, these stocks can provide him with about 7 points of income every day. Well, it is quite good, but it is a bit cumbersome to operate. Li Qingyu has made a decision to wait until the funds in his Huagu grow to more than 10 billion huayuan. He invested most of the funds in those stocks with medium and long-term growth. Keep yourself away from these tedious operations and do other more meaningful things. Well, this time should not be particularly far away, according to Li Qingyu's calculation. At most half a month, the funds in his Chinese stocks will steadily stand on the 10 billion threshold. After setting up the stock trading auxiliary tools, he opened his hacking software again. Then he used it to easily hack into an independent instant messaging software server abroad and entered a chat group with more than 100 people. This instant messaging software is it is a niche app, and those who use it are usually frequent visitors to the dark web. It is recognized by the entire dark web community in terms of security. People will discuss various privacy here, and even engage in illegal and criminal activities, and there is no need to worry about being caught. However, today, this software was hacked by someone without anyone noticing. The chat group that Li Chengyu hacked into has more than 100 people who are all top hackers from all over the world, and behind each of them, there is also an extremely professional hacker team. Some of these people represent a world-class company, such as XP Investment, Bone Song Group, Facebook Group, Penguin Group, etc. Some people are professional hackers, and their favorite thing to do is to hack into those top servers. Now, they gather together to work together to break through the server of Feishuan Company. By the way, originally, with the pride of these professional hackers, they were unwilling to team up with other forces, but before this, they had tried to attack Feishuan servers many times. Every time they came back empty-handed, or even suffered heavy losses. Some people were injured by their own computers after the invasion, some people's computers caught fire and burned down their houses. These things made the Feishuan server like a thorn, deeply piercing their chests, forcing them to bow to reality. So when these hackers received invitations from the world's top groups, they also joined this unknown network battle, and now, this battle is about to start. Many of the world's top computer experts are sitting next to their computers with injuries. Concentrating and waiting. These computers are all high-end products that they have spent a lot of money to get in the past 2 days, in order to be able to give full play to their abilities when invading the Feishuan server, but as long as this server can be captured, everything is worth it. Chapter 92. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The hackers and other computer experts in the group were discussing the attack methods later, but these people didn't know that all their chat contents were clearly seen by the target of this attack. TSK, these guys are quite interesting. I wonder if they can cause some trouble to the outermost firewall of Feishuan server later. Li Chengyu looked at the various messages constantly refreshing the screen in the chat group and sneered in his heart. The firewall of Feishuan server is divided into 9 layers in total. The deeper you go, the stronger the defense and counterattack. However, so far, no hacker or force has been able to break through its outermost defense. When the time in the east of the United States reached 9 o'clock in the evening, the time in China also reached 9:30 in the morning, and this time point is also the invasion time agreed by many hackers in the chat group. Attack. Kill Feishuan server. Blood debt must be paid with blood. I want to let you know the price of burning down my house. I want revenge for the 500T data. Kill. As people shouted various attack slogans in the group, they led their teams and headed towards the network within China. They vowed to completely destroy all the data inside Feishuan server and make Feishuan fall into an irreparable situation. In an important functional department in the capital of China, someone hurriedly dialed the phone. Senior official, we have found that a large number of hackers are invading our country's network. The other party comes from all over the world, with at least hundreds of people, and it is very likely that there are more than 1,000 people. These hackers are organized and premeditated. The situation is very critical. Our people can't resist it at all. Now request an emergency dispatch of personnel to block these hackers outside the country. The caller is a small leader of the Ministry of National Defense Science and Technology Network Security. He is not particularly old, but there is not much hair on his head. Just now, he and his colleagues were observing the domestic network situation, but they happened to see a large number of hackers from all over the world heading towards the Chinese network, so he hurriedly called his boss. Although his boss did not understand any technology, if he wanted to make any arrangements, he had to report and ask for instructions from the other party first, otherwise, cross-functional work would only bring him serious trouble. Well, I know. I'm in a meeting. Let's talk about this when we have time. A calm voice of a senior official came from the other end of the phone, and even the coquettish calls of some women could be heard faintly. Then the phone was hung up directly. The young leader of the National Defense Science and Technology Network Security Department had a lot of question marks in his head. After being stunned for a few seconds, he could only sigh and organize the only forces at hand to try to stop the attacks of many powerful hackers. As for whether it can be stopped, it depends on God's will. It started. In the office of the chairman of Feishuan, Li Chengyu was drinking coffee while looking at his computer calmly, and various data, like flowing light, passed through his computer screen. If it were the computer experts in this world, they would not understand the meaning of these data at all, because these data were detected by Li Chengyu's hacker tool, which converted the situation into data that only he could understand, and then displayed on the screen. Each of these numbers and characters has its specific meaning, and when these characters and numbers are combined together, they represent various new meanings. When many numbers and characters are combined, the amount of information inside is very large. Even if the ordinary brain knows the meaning of these numbers and characters, it is difficult to operate them, but Li Chengyu in front of the screen was watching with relish. Well, 1,354 hackers. Is this the total strength that all your forces can unite? Wow, it only took 13 minutes to break through the defense of China's network. It is indeed something to be proud of. Li Chengyu looked at the various operations of the hackers and commented calmly, without any intention of intervening. Huh. They all stopped outside the Feishuan server. Are they accumulating strength? He found that the more than 1,000 hackers were about to reach Feishuan's firewall, but suddenly stopped. It turns out that they are waiting for the hackers inside China to come. Well, 259 people, it seems that there are also many top hackers in our country. Li Chengyu smiled and nodded, allowing the more than 1,600 world-class hackers to accumulate strength. Attack! Attack! Kill! For revenge, the chat group abroad suddenly boiled over, and everyone issued a battle declaration again. Then they rushed to Feishuan's firewall. The small firewall seemed to have become a cotton ball that could be easily controlled in the eyes of more than 1,600 hackers. They firmly believed that in this world, there was no network protection that could stop the collective attack of so many top hackers. Even if the power of a certain country was integrated, it would not work. Sniff. 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 Unfortunately, ideals are full, but reality is quite skinny. No matter how these hackers attack, even if they all take out their trump cards, but the firewall guarding the Feishuan server has never moved. Even the outermost layer of protection has not shown any ripples. Instead, the various viruses that the firewall bounced out it will cause these hackers' computers and servers to suffer. Fuck. Help. Someone come to put out the fire. Why did my computer explode? Wow, the top configuration I spent a lot of money to get is gone. Help, I'm injured. I'm bleeding. It was 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, and 10 a.m. in the capital of China. There were slight explosions in many places around the world, and some houses even caught fire. For example, on the 38th floor of Penguin Building in Pengcheng, thick smoke billowed out. When this situation was photographed by passers-by and posted online, it also triggered a wave of heated discussions. What's going on? Why is the Penguin Building on fire? Could it be that no one has played GG recently? Penguin is a little depressed and wants to self-immolate. Alas, Penguin has been really unlucky recently. First, GG lost the market, then President Teng was killed, and now the building is on fire. It's what they deserve. This is retribution. Let them cheat me into charging money in the first place. Chapter 93. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not long after many netizens discussed it, Penguin Group came out to refute the rumor. It claimed that there was no fire in Penguin Building, but that some employees used the electric kettle improperly, causing the plastic electric kettle to spray thick smoke. Now the thick smoke has been blown away, and all Penguin Group employees are in a stable mood, so there is no need to worry about them. At the same time, Penguin Group also made severe criticisms to the employee involved. I hope that the majority of netizens will not believe in rumors or spread them. In the office of Feishuan chairman in Shanghai, Li Chengyu smiled and said nothing as he watched all this. Time passes day by day. Feishuan Company's data center in Qiandao Lake is finally going to start construction. This data center covers a large area and the investment is extremely huge. And all its engineering construction will be completed by the engineering team under the Shanghai Li Group. It is said that its advanced level and efficiency will far exceed Ali's data center. There is a rumor that all the designs of the data center and some technical difficulties were completed and solved by Feishuan's chairman Li Chengyu himself. However, not many people are willing to believe this statement. After all, no matter how talented Li Chengyu is, he is only 18 years old. Being able to win the top score in the college entrance examination and establish Feishuan should have consumed all his energy. How can he have the spare energy To learn any design, especially for the design of a large data center, the various knowledge covered is very broad. All aspects are far from being solved by the content in the book, however. Who exactly completed the design of Feishuan data center, then only Feishuan senior leaders know. Recently, Jiang Mingqi is so busy, although there are basically no large groups coming to Feishuan to seek acquisition or investment. But all kinds of work of Qiandao Lake Data Center need him to complete, and Feishuan chairman Li Qingyu has become a complete hands-off shopkeeper. Of course, Jiang Mingqi's hard work was rewarded, and Li Qingyu gave him a substantial salary increase. From the previously agreed annual salary of 5 million, it increased to 15 million, but even so, Jiang Mingqi still felt that he was being exploited. After all, when he was negotiating the annual salary of 5 million, he did not expect Feishuan to develop so quickly, and in just 2 months, it stood at the top of all Chinese companies. At the same time, Jiang Mingqi did not expect Li Qingyu to be so capable, and big projects were launched one after another, and they were all on his head. Alas, this made him painful and happy. Few people can understand the feeling of being the general manager of a top Chinese company. In addition to dealing with the Qiandao Lake Data Center, Jiang Mingqi also needs to prepare for the Magic City land auction in 3 days. Before that, he had already submitted the application for the land auction, and paid a security deposit of 2.6 billion. A total of 16 plots of land were presented at the land auction in Shanghai this time. The plot that Li Qingyu was interested in was the largest of these plots. It is located in Jingdong Town, Jiangsong District, Shanghai, and covers an area of 285,600 square meters. When Jiang Mingqi learned about Li Qingyu's choice, he was a little confused because the area of this land was too large. You should know that the Penguin Group in Pengcheng only occupies an area of 88,000 square meters for their first office, and the Ali Group in Jiangnan only occupies an area of 120,000 square meters for their first office. The office space of these two top Chinese companies is less than half the size of the land area chosen by Li Qingyu. Chairman, are we taking a little too big a step? Jiang Mingqi also tactfully persuaded Li Qingyu to take it step by step. In fact, his true thoughts were that he felt that the chairman was a little too ambitious. The rapid success of Feishuan Company has completely made Li Qingyu's mentality drift. Don't worry, Mr. Jiang, you'll be right to listen to me. Li Qingyu just smiled at Jiang Mingqi's persuasion and still chose to go his own way. This made Mr. Jiang, who was an employee, sigh and shake his head, trying his best to handle the things the chairman ordered. Jiang Mingqi's biggest worry was that Li Qingyu would mortgage Feishuan Company to the bank for rapid development, then get a lot of cash, use it to get land, and then build office buildings and data centers. Although in the long run, this is indeed extremely beneficial to the development of Feishuan Company, but as long as there is any small mistake, once the funds are broken, then everyone's previous hard work and success will be wasted and become someone else's wedding dress. In reality, there are many companies like this. However, Jiang Mingqi found that his worries were a bit redundant, because Li Qingyu never negotiated with the bank about any mortgage loans. Before, the chairman decisively transferred the 1 billion yuan of funds from the Qiandao Lake Data Center to the official account of Qiantang without any delay. The same is true for the 2.6 billion yuan deposit required for the land auction. Do the 3 games of Tian Parkour, Fruit Swordsman, and Sheep make money like this? Impossible, absolutely impossible. It should be the funds lent to him by the Li Group behind the chairman. I just don't know what price he paid for it. Jiang Mingqi thought secretly, although the Li Group is occupied by the Li family, it does not belong entirely to the Li family after all. In business, if you want to borrow so much money, Li Qingyu and Feishuan Company will definitely make some promises and pay a price. However, this is the chairman and his family's own business, not for him, the general manager of Feishuan, to worry about, and borrowing funds from the Li Group is always more reliable than borrowing from a bank. Although the location of the auction plot that Li Qingyu is interested in is not in the city center, but it is not remote either. It is a large plot that has rarely appeared in the Magic City in recent years. Just to participate in its auction, the deposit required to pay has reached 2.6 billion. As for its starting price, it has reached an astonishing 13.4 billion Chinese yuan. Li Qingyu needs to transfer these funds to the relevant accounts the day before the auction. Fortunately, Huagu and the 3 small games have been very powerful these days. even if 3.6 billion in cash has been allocated before, but Li Chengyu's current stock holdings in the stock market still reached 13.2 billion. Chapter 94. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The funds that Li Chengyu put in the stock market can continue to soar for another day, thus breaking through more than 14 billion, then they need to be shipped at high prices. On the next day, they will be withdrawn and transferred to the bank account of Feishuan Company to participate in the land auction, more than 14 billion in cash, plus the previous 2.6 billion in security deposits, a total of about 17 billion Chinese yuan. There is no problem at all to use them to bid for that huge plot of land. After all, the land market is not prosperous now, and there are many unsold plots of land. Even those that are successfully bid are mostly sold at the reserve price. The reason why Li Chengyu plans to transfer all his funds is that he is used to being prudent. However, after taking this plot of land, a lot of the remaining funds on his hand were emptied at once. In the future, he needs to work hard on stocks to double these funds in Chinese stocks. After all, whether it is the construction of office space or the construction of Qiandao Lake Data Center, it is only the beginning now. The big part of the money is still to come. 3 days later, the land auction venue in Shanghai. As the auction ended, many corporate representatives stood up and walked out of the venue. Congratulations, Mr. Jiang, your Feishuan Company is really powerful. It has only been established for less than 3 months, and it can come up with such a large amount of funds. Mr. Jiang, I hope I can have the opportunity to cooperate with your company in the future. Mr. Jiang, let's have tea together when we are free and keep in touch. As Jiang Mingqi left the venue, many leaders of large companies took the initiative to greet him. This time, the land auction in Shanghai was not very fierce. Many real estate companies have not had a good time in the past 2 years and have not invested too much money in land. Even some of these companies only came to accompany the runner-up at the request of some people. However, everyone found that in this land auction, a new face appeared, Mr. Jiang from Feishuan. Although Feishuan is not a real estate company, they naturally know its existence. After all, with more than 400 million users, Feishuan has suddenly become the leader of all Chinese internet companies. It can be said that it is the fastest growing company with the greatest development potential in China. The leaders of these large companies are themselves users of Feishuan, and this time, Feishuan was able to take out 13.8 billion in cash and directly purchase the largest plot of land in this land auction, which also proved its strong strength. So the leaders of various companies came forward to establish a relationship with Jiang Mingqi. Okay. I will definitely do it when I have time. It's all thanks to everyone. Jiang Mingqi, who was very good at dealing with people, bowed repeatedly, walked out of the venue with a smile, and then went straight back to Feishuan Company. Chairman, the land in Jingdong Town, Jiangsong District has been acquired. A total of 13.8 billion Chinese yuan was spent, and there are still 3.2 billion Chinese yuan left in the account. Jiang Mingqi came to Li Chengyu's office and said excitedly, when he was in the Li Group, although he was considered one of the senior leaders, he had never participated in such a large transaction. Well, not bad. Next, you contact the engineering team of the Li Group and start construction as soon as possible. Strive to complete our building as soon as possible, with guaranteed quality and quantity. Let my colleagues move in 1 day earlier. Li Chengyu said with a smile. Yes, Chairman. I will contact the Li Group immediately and ask them to start preparations as soon as possible. Jiang Mingqi nodded and walked out of the office. He was also an old man in the Li Group and was quite familiar with the leaders of various departments. If it was just some small projects, he could directly make a decision with the leaders there, but this time Li Chengyu's move was a bit big, and he bought a plot of 285,600 square meters. He even wanted to build 9 dozens of floors on it. Even the design drawings were ready, and the only thing left was to start construction. The construction and decoration of these buildings are estimated to cost more than 20 billion Chinese yuan. Such a large project is not something that certain leaders of the Li Group can decide. Hello, Mr. Li. I am Jiang Mingqi. Feishuan has a huge project now. He directly called Li Chengyu's father and introduced the project task. What? In Jingdong Town, Jiangsong District, Magic City, the 28.56 plot of land is your Feishuan. Where did you get so much money? Li Ziyi on the other end of the phone was shocked when he learned Jiang Mingqi's intention. Li Group also has its own real estate company, but the real estate industry in China has not been very prosperous in the past 2 years. So their real estate company is just barely maintaining its status. The last time they received the construction project of Feishuan's Qiandao Lake data center was a rare big job for them. So they didn't send anyone to participate in the Magic City land auction this time. But Li Ziyi is quite clear and knowledgeable about the land he auctioned. But he didn't expect that the largest land in this land auction was actually taken by his second son. You won't mortgage Feishuan to the bank completely, right? Development must come step by step, and you can't just seek rapid expansion. Chengyu is still relatively young now. When he is in a more impatient state, you need to persuade him more. After thinking for a while, Li Ziyi thought he had guessed the source of funds for Feishuan to acquire the land. Mr. Li, didn't Feishuan borrow the funds for the purchase of the land from the Li Group? Jiang Mingqi was also surprised when he heard him say that. No, Chengyu has never asked me to borrow funds. Didn't you get the money for the land from the bank mortgage? Wait a minute, I'll ask him first. As Li Ziyi was talking, he hung up Jiang Mingqi's phone. Not long after, Li Chengyu's cell phone rang in the office of the chairman of Feishuan. Father, what's wrong? Chengyu, did you take over the 28.56 plot of land in Jingdong Town, Jiangsong District, Magic City? Yes, that's why I asked Mr. Jiang to contact the Li Group to help build our office building. Li Chengyu replied with a smile. Where did you get so much money? That piece of land must cost at least 10 billion, right? Father Li Ziyi's voice was full of surprise. Chapter 95. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I heard from Jiang Mingqi that you didn't mortgage Feishuan to the bank to raise money, and you didn't ask me to borrow funds. So much money can't be made out of thin air, right? Chengyu, let me tell you. In business, we don't need to do anything illegal. If you really need money, you can ask me directly, and I will find a way for you. Li Ziyi said solemnly on the phone. Don't worry, father. The money for buying the land was earned through formal channels, reasonable and legal. Li Chengyu said. Your company has only been established for less than 3 months. How can there be any formal channels to help you earn more than 10 billion? The 3 games developed by Feishuan are good. But I guess using them to support the Qiandao Lake data center project and maintain the normal operation of your company is already the best, right? Li Ziyi said with disbelief. Father, didn't I tell you before that I'm good at stock trading? Before the college entrance examination, I had already earned 400 million yuan in the stock market for the establishment of Feishuan. But when the company first started operating, it didn't need so much money, so I let them continue to operate in the stock market. In addition, the income one earned from games is much more than you think, and I invested all of them in Huagu. In the past 2 months, the funds in my stock market just happened to step on some stocks with daily limits, which increased rapidly, so that they have now become more than 10 billion yuan. Father, don't worry. All my funds can be traced, and no one or organization can find fault with me. Li Chengyu continued to explain with a smile. 400 million in the stock market, and it became more than 10 billion in 2 months. You are simply the reincarnation of the stock god. Li Ziyi muttered to himself. But Chengyu, all the money you have in the stock market is now used to buy land. Do you have extra money to build a building? I can make the decision and let the Li Group help you advance the funds for the first half of the year. But after that, you will need to pay part of the money in real money. He said with some worry. Don't worry, father. The land I won this time did not use up all my funds. They can continue to help me earn profits in the stock market. 1 month after the Li Group starts construction, I will transfer the project funds to your account one by one, and I will never default. Li Chengyu said, this time, Jiang Mingqi only spent 13.8 billion Chinese yuan to buy land in the land auction in the Magic City, and there are still 3.2 billion funds left. Li Chengyu just invested all of them in Huagu again, and 1 month later, these funds will roll over to more than 10 billion again. It is more than enough to use them to pay for the construction fee of Feishuan's office building and the subsequent construction of the data center. Huagu is really a good place, although it is not stable and is quite unfriendly to most stockholders, but in Li Chengyu's view, it is his best place to make money. You kid. You are really good. The abundance of this cash flow is almost more than our entire Li group. Our group's real estate company and engineering team now rely on these 2 projects of your Feishuan to save them. Ha ha ha. Li Ziyi didn't know how to say good things to his youngest son. More than 10 billion yuan did not consume his funds, and he can continue to invest in the future. Well, this must be because his excellent genes were all inherited by his youngest son, so he has achieved what he has today. The word save is not appropriate, it should be said to be mutually beneficial. I am more assured that our own engineering team will do the construction. Li Chengyu continued to say with a smile. Well, you're right. Our Li Group's engineering team will definitely complete your office building and data center with guaranteed quality and quantity, and there will be no cutting corners. Li Ziyi nodded in agreement with his younger son's statement. Their engineering team will definitely complete these 2 projects with the fastest speed and the best quality. Anyone who dares to cheat will slap him, the chairman of the Li Group, in the face. After chatting for a while, the father and son hung up the phone, and within 2 days, the land that Feishuan Company had acquired started construction in full swing. The engineering team under the Li Group began to build Feishuan's office building and Qiandao Lake's data center with all their strength. The sun was blazing in front of the university gate on Doubleday, under a long sunshade. Many seniors were sitting. Hello, Junior, I am your senior. I will help you carry all these gifts. You are welcome, this is what I should do. What is in it? Why is it so heavy? Oh, so the uncle is here too, let's give the gifts to the strong uncle. A senior saw the pretty and lovely female classmate and hurriedly went up to her. However, his thin body made him suffer a little blow. Junior, what major are you in? I am your senior, who entered the school a year earlier than you. Let me take you to the dormitory, and we will add a Feishuan. Well, if you encounter any problems in the future, you can come to me, senior. A smiling senior, after seeing a tall and handsome freshman, also went up to him in a few steps. Junior, I'll help you. The seniors and seniors of Shuangdan University are quite enthusiastic. Whenever there are handsome and beautiful freshmen, they will go to help in time. Near the school gate, there are many banners welcoming freshmen. Warmly welcome the new students of 20XX. Treasure your college life, and strive for a bright future. We will spend a perfect college life together. Warmly welcome Li Chengyu, the top scorer in the National College Entrance Examination. Warmly welcome Li Chengyu, the chairman of Feishuan. In addition to the normal welcome banners, there are several banners with Li Chengyu's name written on them. After more than a month of fermentation, Li Chengyu's deeds are now well known to everyone, and Shuangdan University will certainly not miss the opportunity to promote itself. They deliberately put Li Chengyu's name on the banner. Whether it is the seniors of Shuangdan University or the freshmen who come to report for the first year, they all feel happy after seeing these 2 banners. After all, thinking about studying in the same school as the top scorer of the National College Entrance Examination with full marks, you will feel very proud. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The students of Shuangdan University are very proud of Li Chengyu's admission. Well, our Shuangdan University is no worse than Huaqing University. Otherwise, why would the top scorer in the National College Entrance Examination apply to our school instead of Huaqing University? Compared with the satisfaction of the students, Director Qian of the admissions office, who was in an office near the campus gate, seemed anxious. The school has started registration for 2 days, but Li Chengyu has not arrived yet. Could he have changed his mind temporarily and gone to another school? Ordinary students, of course, do not have the qualifications to change schools temporarily, but for a top scorer in the National College Entrance Examination like Li Chengyu, who has also founded a top domestic company, he can go wherever he wants to study. if Li Qingyu changes his mind temporarily and goes to Huaqing University or Capital University, others will definitely welcome him with a smile. Director Qian is always tormented in his heart. He wants to call Li Qingyu directly to urge him to register at Shuangdan University, but he was worried that he would offend the other party, so he was always hesitant. At this moment, a Ferrari sports car arrived at the gate of Shuangdan University and was blocked by the railing. I'm really sorry, due to the large number of new students, vehicles for sending students are not allowed to enter at present to avoid danger. The security guard waved his hand to signal that the Ferrari should be returned. This is not a vehicle for sending students. It is my own car. Can't it enter? That the window of the Ferrari fell down, revealing a handsome face. Are you Li Qingyu? This year's top scorer in the college entrance examination. That the security guard was surprised when he saw the face in the Ferrari. Yes, I am Li. Before Li Qingyu finished speaking, the security guard turned around and ran away, leaving him at the gate of the campus. Can my car enter? He was stunned by the magic operation of the Shuangdan University security guard. Look, a Ferrari sports car. I don't know if it's expensive. This is the high-performance version of the Ferrari SF90. It has just been on the market for a short time and the landing price is about 6 million. More than 6 million. Isn't that too expensive? Can we make so much money after graduation? We are students of Shuangdan University, a school that even the top scorers in the college entrance examination would choose. A few $1 million will be a lot of money after we graduate. I wonder if this Ferrari belongs to the parents of the student. Or is it the student's own car? If it is the student's own car. The seniors in front of Shuangdan University started talking when they saw a handsome Ferrari parked nearby. Fuck, is that Li Qingyu? It's Li Qingyu. Only he can be so handsome. The top scorer in the college entrance examination has appeared. The chairman of Feishuan has appeared. Wow, I want to go over and ask him for an autograph. Many of the students who reacted have already walked towards the Ferrari, some simply admired him, while others wanted to build a relationship. After all, the other party's identity was not just as simple as a handsome college freshman, but before everyone could get close, a slightly bloated middle-aged man, led by the security guard, had already trotted to the Ferrari. He was Director Qian of the admissions office of Shuangdan University. Student Li Qingyu, I've finally waited for you. I'm Director Qian of the admissions office of Shuangdan University. I talked to you on the phone before. Hello, Director Qian. Li Qingyu opened the car door and walked down, shaking hands with him. Student Li Qingyu, as soon as I saw your face, I knew you were a dragon among men. On behalf of Shuangdan University, I welcome you to study here. Director Qian said with a smile. With the arrival of the top scorer in the college entrance examination, he was relieved. Thank you. Li Qingyu smiled and nodded. Have you brought your admission letter? I can help you with the admission procedures. Yes, I did. Li Qingyu pointed to a booklet on his co-pilot seat. Is this car yours? Do you plan to drive it to school in the future? Director Qian asked again. Yes, it's my own car. I don't have any plans to change my car in the short term. Li Qingyu nodded. Lao Zhang, go to the security department later and enter Li Qingyu's ticket number. Give him the right to enter and leave the campus freely. I will give a call to the security department later. Director Qian said again. Said to the security guard just now. Okay, Director Qian. The security guard nodded. Director Qian, get in the car, let's go through the admission procedures. Li Qingyu said with a smile, and then sat back in his Ferrari. Director Qian did not hesitate, opened the door of the co-pilot and sat in. The security guard pressed the button of the control railing. Li Qingyu started the car, and successfully entered the campus of Shuangdan University. Only a group of seniors who were a little disappointed were left behind. Director Qian had been chatting with Li Qingyu just now, leaving them no chance to interrupt, of course, when they faced Li Qingyu. They thought about the other party's identity and were somewhat timid, so that the opportunity to talk slipped away. Director Qian, where can I go to the admission procedures? Li Chengyu asked while driving the Ferrari with one hand. Hey, it can be done anywhere. The information is in my bag, you just need to sign it. Director Tian said with a smile. For other ordinary students, of course they have to queue up and fill in information to enroll. But Li Chengyu is different. His enrollment procedures are naturally as simple as possible. But you should turn left and take this road. I will take you to a place. Director Tian said again. Oh, Li Chengyu was puzzled, but did not ask any more questions. He drove in the direction of his finger. Finally, the two came to a relatively new apartment and stopped. Li Chengyu followed Director Tian and entered the second floor of this apartment. He took out a key from his briefcase and opened the room 201. This is a small apartment with 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen and a bathroom, with all kinds of furniture and appliances, bright, clean and tidy. You can move in with your luggage. With your current status, if you live in an ordinary student dormitory, you will probably be bored. So our Shuangdan University specially provides this apartment for you. The people living in this building are all teachers who enrolled last year and this year. Although the environment should be much worse than your home, it is not a big problem to live in. Director Tian said. Chapter 97. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Director Tian introduced the apartment and put the key in Li Chengyu's hand. Thank you for the school's care. Li Chengyu did not refuse. From the reaction of the students around him when he stopped at the school gate just now, if he lived with other students, it would be very likely to cause a lot of trouble. Come on, sign your name here. You will officially become a student of our Shuangdan University. Director Tian took out a page of information and a pen from his briefcase and handed it to him. Li Chengyu took it and signed his name after scanning it and finding that there was no problem. Go meet President Jin of our Shuangdan University. Haha, he has been waiting for you these 2 days. Director Tian packed the signed admission information and said with a smile. Oh. President Jin wants to see me. You are the only one in the history of the college entrance examination who scored full marks in the college entrance examination. Of course he wants to see you. Let's go, I'll lead the way. After Director Tian finished speaking, he walked out of the apartment. The two of them took the Ferrari and came to the administrative office area of Shuangdan University, and then went all the way to the top floor, and Principal Jin's office was right here. Knock, knock, knock. Director Tian knocked on the door of the office. Come in. A slightly old voice came from inside. The two pushed the door open and saw an elderly man in his 60s sitting behind the desk. Although his hair was a little gray, he was in good spirits. Principal Jin, Li Chengyu is here. Director Tian said. Shuangdan University is one of the top 5 universities in China. Although Principal Jin is only a principal, his administrative level is at the vice-ministerial level. In addition, he has many students all over the world, and his influence in China can be said to be quite considerable. Oh. He is indeed a handsome man. Principal Jin stood up and looked at Li Chengyu and said. Principal, you are too kind. Li Chengyu smiled faintly. Director Tian, go and do your own thing. I'll talk to our top scorer in the college entrance examination alone. Okay, Principal. Director Tian nodded and left the office. Li Chengyu and Principal Jin sat down at the tea table and began to chat while sipping tea. Ha ha ha. It's great to be young. You have the vitality that I envy. Ever since you applied to our Shuangdan University, I've always wanted to meet you. On the one hand, I want to meet you, the only top scorer in the country in history. On the other hand, I also want to find you to build a relationship. The future of Feishuan, the company you founded, is limitless. It has already gained a place in China's top companies. And now the employment situation in the country is relatively tense. I hope your company will consider our Shuangdan University more when recruiting people in the future. Principal Jin said with a smile. Shuangdan University is a top university in China. It is a blessing for seniors to come to my Feishuan company. Well, I can arrange several campus recruitments in the school later, specifically for graduates and interns of Shuangdan University. Li Chengyu nodded and agreed to the principal's proposal. Feishu and Company is now in a stage of rapid development and expansion, and it really needs a lot of manpower. It doesn't matter where you recruit people, it's also good to come to Fudan to recruit people." After the two chatted for a while, Li Qingyu got up and left. He drove the Ferrari to a street selling daily necessities and bought all the daily necessities. Then he used the Ferrari to tow them back to the apartment arranged for him by Xuandan University. Although the sports car looks good and is quite powerful to drive, it seems a bit lame when it comes to towing things. Li Qingyu didn't buy much, but he almost filled the Ferrari. He moved all these daily necessities to his apartment, and he could use them directly when he came to live next time. Of course, he would have to wait for some time before he could come to live here, at least until the military training for freshmen was over. He didn't want to participate in the military training where he had to stand in the sun like a wooden man and practice standing posture. Yes, Li Qingyu really planned to come to Xuandan University to attend classes later. Although he had negotiated with the school leaders before he enrolled, it didn't matter whether he attended classes or not, he only needed to take the exams at the end of the semester, but he still planned to come to school to attend classes as much as possible and feel the good life on campus. On the one hand, his mother Yi Hongyu had previously reminded him. I told him that I wanted Li Qingyu not to just focus on his career and company, but also to pay more attention to his studies. On the other hand, it is also because the university campus is not comparable to the middle school campus, which is quite relaxed and happy. Li Qingyu can't stay in Fei Xuan's office all day to work. Otherwise, what's the meaning of such a life? Isn't it nice to enjoy life on campus? Li Qingyu, who has experienced more than a dozen parallel worlds, knows that if you want to indulge in pleasure, the university campus is a good place. There are always many interesting things happening here. After tidying up his apartment, Li Qingyu drove the Ferrari again and rushed to Feishu and Company. When he came to the chairman's office, he turned on the computer and used hacker tools to continue to check various precious information hidden in the network. But after more than a month of investigation, he has almost read all kinds of information, and has a better understanding of the real side of this world. When it was 10 o'clock in the evening, Li Qingyu walked out of the office building leisurely and headed towards the 5-star hotel not far away. Are you here already? The killers organized by the Norma Mafia are quite efficient. Not long after Li Qingyu walked out of the office, he found that he was being targeted, and the other party was very professional, hiding more secretly than the martial arts masters sent by the Ma family last time. If it were an ordinary dark power master, or even a transformation power master, there would be no chance to find the other party's figure. Unfortunately, Li Qingyu's strength was at the foundation building level, and his spiritual consciousness was even stronger than most Jindan cultivators, so he still easily found the other party. In fact, a few days ago, Li Qingyu already knew that a killer was about to come to assassinate him. The reason was still Feishu and Company, which repeatedly rejected the requests of the world's top groups for capital injection, and then caused those forces to suffer heavy losses in the last hacker attack. The other party really couldn't stand this bad breath. After all, they had been at the top of the world for many years. What Feishu has done during this period is a great provocation and insult to them. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Unfortunately, the Ma family's dark power master thought very carefully, but who knew that these two foreign killers would shoot him when he was not paying attention? Swish! Swish! That even though the Ma family's dark power master was quite powerful, the two killers were also very skilled and their shooting skills were extremely accurate. Although he dodged some bullets, he was still hit by one bullet in the waist and thigh. George. You dared to attack your employer by sneaking up on him without following the killer's rules. The Ma family's dark power master endured the pain, rolled to the corner of the wall, and roared angrily. Bang! 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 Neither the black tall man nor the white tall man had any intention of answering his question. The two raised their guns again and fired continuously. It turns out that the Dark Power Master does not have much room to fight back when facing modern firearms without much dodge space. A few seconds later, the Ma family warrior was shot in the head and died, and the blood dyed the carpet red. John and George had no expression on their faces. They had seen too many deaths like this and didn't feel anything at all. After the two of them packed up, they went downstairs and renewed the room fee for room 508 for a week at the hotel front desk. Then, they drove the Ma family's Dark Power Master's car straight to Pengcheng. The next afternoon, a murder case that shocked the world occurred in Penguin Building in Pengcheng. Two international killers, relying on the identity card of a senior executive of Penguin Group named Ma, broke directly into the top floor of Penguin Building, and took advantage of the opportunity when the leaders of Penguin Group were meeting in the conference room, took out guns and kept shooting. As a result, many presidents of Penguin, including Mr. Liu, the technical director of Penguin, Mr. Wang of the intelligence department, Mr. Gao, the general manager of the merger and acquisition department, and Mr. Liu of the public opinion department, died, and more than a dozen ordinary Penguin employees also died tragically on the spot. Fortunately, Xiaoting fled in a hurry under the protection of his bodyguards and barely saved his life, only with a shoulder injury, but his bodyguards were shot in multiple places while protecting him and died. Afterwards, the two international killers, running out of bullets, engaged in close combat with Minister Ma and others from the Penguin Group security department who quickly arrived. In the end, they were outnumbered and died tragically on the spot, and the people in the security department also paid a heavy price to capture the two international killers. Minister Ma suffered a comminuted fracture of his right hand and 8 broken ribs. His elite team members also died and injured 3 and were almost wiped out. After the news came out, the stock price of the Penguin Group, which had already fallen to a terrible state, plummeted again. In a high-rise building in the artistic country of Norway. And Ma, assholes. What are John and George doing? Aren't they supposed to assassinate the chairman of Feishuan? Why did they go to Penguin Group to kill people? You know, Penguin is one of the sponsors of this mission. They are 2 idiots. How could they make a mistake? Bieber, how do you train them? A Norwegian mafia leader smashed the ashtray beside him to the ground. It's the same training as training other people. It's a mistake to kill someone. Now send someone to China to kill again, isn't it? Another mafia leader, hearing someone questioning him, didn't care at all and said lazily, "We can't send assassins to China in the short term. This incident is too big, almost wiping out all the senior staff of Penguin Group. And Penguin Group is one of the top companies in China, and it must have alerted the masters of China's security department. If we send people there again, it is likely that we will fall into a trap." A mafia leader sitting at the top said, "What about this mission? The sponsor paid a lot of money, and they are a combination of multiple top technology companies. If things are not handled well, it will be difficult to cooperate with them in the future." Someone asked in a deep voice. "Contact them and say that this is just an accident. 2 months later, wait until the storm is over. We will definitely send the top ace assassin again to shoot the chairman of Huagua Feishuan Company into a sieve." The mafia leader at the top continued. Inside an official building in Pengcheng, many official personnel are holding an internal meeting. This Penguin Group is really in trouble. In just over a month, we have held a special meeting for them. 2 meetings. An official sitting at the top said with a frown. Find out whose ID card the high-ranking executive surnamed Ma of Penguin Group is on the killer. Also, how did these killers get guns in China? Our country has such strict control over guns, I didn't expect that they could get guns and so many bullets. It's so audacious, that the official sitting at the top continued to scold. We have found out the ID card of the high-ranking executive surnamed Ma of Penguin Group. It came from a Dark Power Master of the Ma family behind Penguin Group. But this Dark Power Master has died in a hotel in Magic City. And judging from his injuries and the hotel surveillance, he was also shot by these 2 international killers. Someone in the meeting room answered. But what I don't understand is that the guns used by the 2 killers should have been provided by this Dark Power Master surnamed Ma. But why did these 2 people kill him? Is it like last time, that there was an internal strife in the Ma family? That he paused and said the question in his heart. The Ma family again. These hidden families are really lawless. They even provided guns and ammunition to international killers privately. What do they want to do? Contact the Ma family and ask whether the behavior of this Ma surnamed Dark Power Master was instructed by them. That the senior official sitting at the top was a little upset. I have already contacted the Ma family. But the other party said that the action of the Ma surnamed Dark Power Master this time was just his personal behavior and had nothing to do with the Ma family. And not long after, the secretary of the second leader of Pengcheng called me specially. He claimed that this incident must have nothing to do with the Ma family and asked me not to think too much. The man in the meeting room said again. Secretary of the second leader. Ah. The senior official at the top sighed and stopped asking questions. Chapter 100. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fuck. What happened to the Penguin Group? They were in chaos. The scene was so tragic, bloody, 36 people died, I vomited my breakfast. Brother above, were you at the scene, or did you see the photos of the scene? Aren't the photos censored? Alas, I just bought the bottom of the Penguin Group yesterday, but I didn't expect to buy it on my shoulder. Stock speculation really ruins 3 generations. Everyone listen to my advice, don't enter the market if you haven't entered yet. Isn't the above person too reckless? No one plays GG anymore, and you actually bought the bottom of the Penguin Group. Doesn't anyone care how international killers enter the country with guns? Do you really believe the rumors at the airport? No matter how many things happen, our China is always the safest country in the world. That the internet was once again in an uproar because of the shooting case of Pengcheng Penguin Group. The Chinese government also issued a statement, severely condemning the bad behavior of the international killer organization, and stated that it would definitely investigate thoroughly and bring the instigators behind the 2 killers to justice. Chengyu, who was sitting in the office of the chairman of Feishuan, looked at all this and smiled faintly. Well, it seems that Mr. Xiaoteng's bodyguards are quite strong. They were able to protect him and escape the shooting of 2 killers. But after experiencing such a big event, will you think of any tricks in the future? Li Chengyu browsed the news for a while, then opened his hacking tool and continued this counterattack. However, this time, he did not intend to attack the Penguin Group again, but to retaliate against some top foreign technology companies. After all, the forces that bought killers to assassinate him are not just the Penguin Group. As for the other forces, they still look like they are staying out of it. I'll give you a hard one. Li Chengyu directly invaded the servers of these technology companies and their backup servers through hacking tools. Then the virus was released to completely clear all the data inside the server. Then, accompanied by a huge roar, all their servers began to operate crazily at overload. After only half a minute, most of the servers directly emitted thick black smoke. A small number of servers simply exploded and blew to pieces. Baga. Yamada-kun, why did the company's database crash? I opened the backend and it showed a blank. You should know that we are negotiating a very important order with a customer. If the other party doubts the strength of our soft gold capital because the database cannot be opened, and thus gives up this investment, you will be responsible for it. In a high-rise building in Tokyo, a middle-aged man in a suit and leather shoes angrily scolded the leader of the soft gold capital data center. Ahem, Minister Sakai. Our server just exploded and caught fire. 5 other employees were seriously injured in the explosion of the server. Now I am organizing firefighting. The phone call took half a minute to be connected, and a very noisy sound came from the other side. The server exploded and caught fire. Damn it. Yamada-kun, you leave the firefighting work to others. Go and activate our backup server first. This order is too important and cannot be lost. That when Minister Sakai heard the bad news, he cursed again. Those servers are not cheap, and the data inside is extremely important, but he knew that it was useless to curse now. Let's negotiate the order first, and then settle with Yamada. Minister Sakai, the backup server also caught fire. Yamada-kun's helpless and panicked voice came from the other side. What? The backup server also caught fire. Go and rescue them quickly. The data inside must not be lost. We must rescue them even if we die. Baga. Minister Sakai heard that not only the normal servers exploded and caught fire, but also the backup servers were burning. They immediately became anxious and no longer paid attention to the order they were negotiating. No matter how important the order was, it was not as important as the data in the server. Once all the data was lost, All the transaction information between Soft Gold Capital and its customers could no longer be found. How much money did the user invest in them? Which companies did they invest in? The work situation of the employees in the past decades, etc., all would become blank. How could they communicate with their previous customers? How to explain to the customers? How to carry out the follow-up work? If the entire Soft Gold Capital does not have this data, it will be completely paralyzed. Yes, Minister Sakai. I will try to save our servers and backup servers. Yamada-kun said in a heavy voice while looking at the raging fire in front of him. However, he knew that these servers could not be saved completely, and the shells were burnt. Moreover, the flames and explosions occurred from the inside of the server, and there must be nothing left inside. Well, it's time to consider changing jobs. Oh. Damn it. Page, our Bone Song collapsed. In a luxurious office of the Bone Song Group in Santa Clara County, California, a man roared in disbelief. Bryn, are you mistaken? Our Bone Song architecture is extremely stable. It has never collapsed since its establishment. Another man heard his roar and was obviously unwilling to believe it, thinking that the other party was playing a prank on him. However, when he saw his brother's serious expression, he still tried to log into his company's website. Oh. Shit. It actually crashed. Hurry up and call Larry to ask why he didn't manage our data center. Tell him to restore the data immediately. Doesn't he know that fans' huge mistake will make users lose trust in us? That when Page tried to open the Bone Song website, he found that the page really showed an error, and he also burst into swearing. Hey! Larry, do you still want your bonus for this quarter? Don't you know that our website has crashed? You know, this is the first time that Bone Song has crashed in many years, and you are responsible for it. Bryn took out his mobile phone, dialed Larry's number, and immediately cursed him. Boss, our server is on fire. It's over, it's all over. Larry's voice sounded from the other end of the phone, and all kinds of noise came from the other side, as if it had become a mess.